Okay, inside the structure, what I have it, guys? Inside the array, you have the structure. I'll be writing 3 variable name. Okay, let it be like this. Inside this 3 things, I have the structure thing. Okay, what we are going to discuss today? A pointer, a dynamically created structure of array, right? So you are creating this block has dynamically, right? So what is this now? Let's say this is nothing but 1000. This is nothing but 1000. This address you need to get it, right? So this you need to create this, and this address you need to get it, and you need to store it in one variable, right? You need to store it in one variable, and that address I'll just store it here. Let's say it is nothing but 1000, right? And this is nothing but what? 2000. So let's take it as like this, 2000. And I want to store, I want to hold this address. I will tell it as what? X, right? Now tell me, guys, how to access this? बहुत बड़ा रास्ता है ना, right? Have this picture in your brain, so I'll directly go into the program and we'll be discussing on this. Okay, I'll be not taking a huge thing, just you need to know how to access this, how to create this, and how to access this. That's what you need to know about it. Let's go for the program. So let's say like hash include stdio.h, right? I'll tell it has int main. Okay, so I'll open this and I'll close this, right? So what I need to do it, guys, I want to create what? I want to create what? A structure, right? A structure of array, right? First I want to create a structure of array. How do I want to create a structure of array, guys? First I want to declare the structure, right? So I'll declare a small structure, let's say like mib. I'll open this and I'll close this, right? So semicolon is very important, and I'll come here. It should be in the ascending order, guys. Everything should be in the ascending order. So I'll tell it as int a, and I will tell it has int b, and I will tell it has character C, I will tell it, right? So this is what we discussed, right? So this is all the data type we are discussing. So since this mib is a structure type, so I'll tell it as struct, right? I will tell it as what? Struct type, right? So I'll come here. What I do now here is I want to create this memory using dynamic. So whenever the word dynamic comes, the pointer comes. Whenever the pointer comes, you will tell that there is a method called as malloc, right? Malloc, right? For this malloc, what you will pass it, guys? You need to pass it size, right? So I'll let a size of whose size you want to pass it. I'll be passing in the mib size. Mib is what, guys? Mib is nothing but structure, right? Mib is nothing but what? Structure type, right? Mib is what is that? Structure type. Now my question is, now how many blocks you are doing it, guys? How many blocks you are doing it? You need to have a 3 blocks, right? So let's take it as index also. Let's take it as 0, 1, and 2, right? 0, 1, and 2, right? So I want to tell it has n here, right? So I will tell it has multiplication. Same like array concept we added it n into n. I want to do it, right? So what I'll do it now, I'll declare a variable called as int n. I'll tell it has scanf. Okay, I'll tell it as %d, and I'll tell it as ampersand n. I will read this, right? How many number of blocks you wanted it, right? So this will tell me how many number of blocks I wanted it, and this will tell me what it should be the one size. Okay, it's simple thing it is doing it, guys. It is doing simple thing for me. This will give you 12 for you, and this will give you 3. 12 threes are what, guys? 12 threes are what? 12 threes are 36. So 36 bytes of memory I want to create it. I will create it. So that is what I will do it now here. Same thing I'll be doing it. 36 type of memory I'll be creating it, right? So this is done now, right? This is done now. Now what I need to do it, guys? I need to store it in one variable. I'll tell it as a variable called as x, right? This x should be declared now. So x is storing what, guys? X is storing address type. So I'll tell it has what? I'll tell it has mib type it is, and mib is what? Struct type. Okay, now for till here, what is done, guys? Till here, what is done? Okay, now I'll come here. When I'm storing this, I'll get a slap, right? Telling that type mismatch, right? So what I need to do it, I need to do the typecasting from void star to structure mib star, right? So I'll tell it has star, and I will tell it has mib mib, and mib is which type? Mib is nothing but struct type. So that is what I'm doing it. Now for this 2 line, I have created so much, the memory diagram. This much I have created, and this much I have created. Guys, if you have any queries till here, let me know about it. Till here, what did I add it, guys? Just this one, guys. Just the number of blocks I have added it. Okay, nothing else I have done it. Okay, now what I need to do it, guys, you tell me what I need to do it. Look here, I want to do it. What, guys, what I need to do it, I need to store some memory here. Tell me how can I store it. Tell me what I need to do it. So x में address है, क्या करूँ मैं? X में address है, right? X में address है, I will tell it as x. Okay, then later what I need to do it, I need to come to here. I need to come to here, I will tell it as what? Star. Right? I want to tell it as what? Star. Okay. Next, where I want to go it, whether which index I want to go it, 0, 1, 2, which index I want to go it, which index I want to go it, I will tell it as plus 0, right? So I'll just tell it as plus 0, right? So what I need to do it, I need to solve this first. No, this is correct, right? This is correct. After this, what I need to do it, I want to solve this first. So much I want to solve this first. Then later, what I need to do it, guys, I want to use the dot operator, right? After going to the dot operator, what I need to tell it, dot a equal to what I'll tell it, 10. Okay, now just we can see it whether we can print it or not, right? So I'll go to here. I'll go to here, and I'll just tell it has what is that, x. I'll tell it has star here, and I'll tell it has plus 0. I want to go inside, so inside the object. So what I'll do it now, dot, and I will tell it has a, right, equal to 10. I will tell it, right? So now what I need to do it, I need to tell it has print. I'll tell it has printf percentage t slash in, and I will just tell it has, and I'll print it the same thing, star x plus 0, star x plus 0, star x plus 0 dot a, right? Okay, so I'll just run this, okay, whether it is creating or not. Let me check it out. So I don't know how it is. CC. Okay, so what is it telling it, guys? Invalid operands to binary expression. Okay, again we need to put it star here. Again we need to put it star here, or what? So again we need to put it like this, right? Let me check it out like this. Okay, so I will go here. I will write it as okay, ash include stdlib dot h. I'll tell it, right, stdlib dot h. So I'll come here, and I will put it as here one more star because it is array, right? So there's a dimension it is creating it. So here also same thing I'll do it. Well, just check it out. We try it, right? So I did a simple mistake, I guess. So let's remove this. Let's remove this. Okay, so I have it x plus and star and then a, right? So let's run this. Okay, I want to enter it, right? So I want to enter it 3 blocks. Okay, so I'm getting it, right? So I'm getting it. Yes, guys, good, Amina. Right? So what is the mistake we have done it? Like look on here, guys. Look on here. Let's go for the memory diagram. Let's rewrite this. Let's rewrite this. Okay, first what I need to do it, guys. First I want to write it as x. First I want to write it as x. X means 1000. Okay, after that what I'll do is, actually we are creating by using malloc, right? By using a malloc. So this won't be the possible, like you need to have the borders like this, right? So it's somewhere around the line are different memory blocks, right? So now what happens, for 1000 itself I will add the block. Okay, in which block I want to go for it, right? If it is a first block, I will go for the first block. If it is second block, second block. If it is third block, third block. Okay, if I tell it as x plus 1, it will come to here. It will increment by 12 bytes, right? So I don't want to increment it, so I want to be here itself. I want to be here itself, and from here I want to go inside this, right? So use of undeclared identifier. So what I need to do it, I need to tell it has x here, right? So I'll tell it as x here, x of 0. Okay, so okay, so I'll tell a dot slash e dot wait here, right? So I'll tell it as 3 blocks. I'm going here and I can even get it for this. Got it? So what is this is like, you can create it dynamically, right? So you are not doing same essay topic, the last topic which we discussed, it same thing, nothing to worry about it. The only extra thing is this one is added. This one is added, right? Entire thing which we have discussed it, this one thing is added. This becomes what? Dynamic program. Got it? So where it was like fixed, and this becomes what? Dynamic program. Okay. For example, I'll be writing it. Okay, writing the code for it. So let's make it like this. Okay, I will go for the previous program itself. Okay, previous J program itself, so that you will get to know how to do it. No, we'll do it here itself, right? Why to think about it, right? So let's tell me about the scanf, guys. Tell me about the scanf. It will be recall for you. Tell me about scanf. How to scanf? I'll tell it has scanf. I'll tell it has percentage D. Percentage D. How do I tell it for the scanf, guys? Same line. At the last, I want to add it what? Ampersand, right? So same line. I want to add it. Let's take it as ampersand star, and I'll tell it as x plus 0. I'll tell it as x plus 0, and I'll put it dot operator, and I'll tell it as a, right? So same line. At the end, what I need to add it, guys? I want to add it what? Ampersand here, right? So if I do this, let me check it out whether it will come or not. Okay, so I will compile this. I'll tell dot slash a dot oet out. So I'll tell it 3 block. So it is telling me to read it. I'll tell it as 100 now. So what is it? It is coming 100 now, right? It is reading perfectly right. No problem with that. So I will go for the program. Same thing for the scanf. I need an address, so that I'll be adding this address for you. So I'll tell it scanf, SCANF scanf. I will tell it has percentage D, and I will tell it has same thing. What I need to do it. So here I need to tell it as star. I'll tell it as x plus 0, right? Dot B I need to tell it. So I'll tell it as dot B, right? So in front of this, what I need to add it, guys? I want to add it what? Ampersand, right? Same thing. Another one more scanf for you. I'll tell it as scanf. Okay, so can we write it in one single scanf itself, sir? Yes, you can write it. Absolutely right. You can write it. No problem. Since you get confused, I'm writing like this. Okay, so how do I write it? First, I will go to the X. Then I want to tell it as which block I want to go for it. I'll tell it as 0th block. So after this, I want to go inside this. So I'll tell it as what? Star. I'll tell it as star. I'll tell it as what? Star. And after that, what I need to do it? I'll be using dot operator. There will be confusion between dot and star operator. Okay, dot and star operator. So what I'll do it? I will be closing, right? So after this, what is this? I'll tell it as C. Right? I'll tell it as C. So since it is a scanf, I need to give the address. That is the reason I'll be telling it as ampersand. Look on here. If there was only one block, this was right? This was right. So there are like n number of blocks. I don't know what is n, right? So it might be differing from 1 to 1, right? So what I'll do it now, I'll tell it as for loop. I'll tell it as int I is equal to starting from 0 and I less than what, guys? N, and I'll tell it as I plus plus, right? Wherever you have 0, I'll replace with I. Wherever I have 0, I replace with the variable I. Wherever I have 0, I replace with I. Okay, this becomes more dynamic. So I'm reading the n value, and I'm declaring a variable which stores the address, and I'm calling the dynamic memory allocation over here and into number of blocks, right? So over all this time you were looking onto this, only so much you are looking onto it. Now what you got extra? This one extra, right? So you can create a number of blocks, nothing to worry about it. So it will create it, it will get the initial address, and it is storing inside this X. Before storing it, it will do the typecasting it, and it will be storing it. So each time when I do X plus 1, it becomes like plus 12. It becomes what? Plus 12 thing, right? So now what I need to do it? Okay, so this line is not required, right? So this line is not required. This line was for just for testing part, right? So I have written for just testing part, right? Whether it is working or not, right? So now what I need to do it? I need to print it. I need to print one statement, right? What are the things I want to print it? I want to print, let me tell you like this, printf. I will tell it has what is the a value? I'll tell it as slash t. What is a b value? I'll tell it as slash t. What is a c value? I'll tell it as what? Slash n, right? So I will be telling like this, printf. I'll tell it as star 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 star, and I'll tell it as slash n, right? I'll come here. What are all the things I need to print it, guys? One is x of this one. Okay, no problem. Other one is what? The same line I'll be writing it, except ampersand. I'll be writing all the things, right? Oh yeah, add blocks for the loops. Very good. Right, so I want to add the block for it. So a sub itna for loop ke andar chalta hai, right? I can write this one in a one single line also. Okay, later I will tell you how it is. Okay, first I will execute this. Okay, Same thing, I need to tell it. Okay, A is your percentage D slash D, and B is also your percentage D. I'll tell as percentage D, and C is your percentage S. I will tell it. Okay, percentage S. I will tell it, and after that I'll tell the slash N. So A print हो जाएगा इसमें, and how to print B, guys? I'll tell it as X को जाओ, then I'll tell it as plus 0. I will tell it. After that I want to go inside. I'll tell a star, so I'll put the block here, and I want to go inside the object. So you have a dot operator, confusion. So what I'll do it, I'll again apply the Bodmas rule here, and I will tell it as what? B here, right? So by using an index, right? So how do I do it now? Again, okay. So again, what I need to do it, I need to go to X plus 0th block, and I want to add it star here, right? So I want to solve this first. So I need to use a dot operator because of the object. So dot and star confusion. So what I'll do it now, I'll put it as bracket here, and I will tell it as here what? C. I'll tell it as what? C here, right? So after this, okay, this should be generalized. There are n number of blocks. So what I'll do it now, I'll apply the for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, right? So in place of 0, I'll tell it as I. In place of 0, I'll tell it as I. In place of 0, I will tell it as I here, right? So after printing this, what I'll do it now, printf, I'll tell it as what? Star 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 star. That is the end. Star 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 slash n. Right? So what I do it now, I'll go for here, compile it. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Instead of percentage C, I have written percentage S. That's absolutely fine, no problem. Dot slash a dot out out. So I need to print it. How many number of blocks? I'll tell it as 3 number of blocks. I will read it. I'll tell it as 10, 20. I'll tell it as G. Right? Later on, 67, 89. I'll tell it as K. 34, 56, 78. Oops. I'll tell it as I. Right? So I'll enter this. Oops. It's going wrong, right? So somewhere we went wrong. Somewhere in the printing statement we went wrong. It was for compile it. I'll tell it as dot slash a dot out. I'll tell it as only one block. I'll tell it for a testing purpose. Okay, it is coming 23, 45, and Y. It is coming. Okay, it is reading only one block, so it is telling it correct. But I don't know why I have entered this. Let's check it out with this. Somewhere in the cook of the line, there is a problem. Okay, I'm building it and I'm reading it again, this one, and printf. Might be my system was not working fine. Slash a dot out. Okay, so it has one block or two blocks. 34, 36, 23. Okay, it is coming fine, guys. Okay, so it was just a thing of like it was not printing properly, it was not displaying it properly. That's it. So it is coming fine, no problem. Okay, take it on this. Okay, nothing else, guys. This program is all about this one. Okay, this program is all about this one. This program is all about this line, the malloc line. Guys, this topic becomes your, you can tell it as dynamically creating a structure of n number of blocks. You can tell it like this. Guys, look onto this, which the topic which I gonna be discussing you. Okay, it's quite related to this. Let me tell you one topic. I'll be using one keyword called as Typedef. I hope you have gone through this. Okay, so just have a note onto this. What is this Typedef is? Typedef is nothing but it is used to give a data type a new name. Okay, you have all the data types, right? So maybe like primitive or a non-primitive data type. So here you have Mib has a primitive data type, sorry, non-primitive data type. You have integer has a primitive data type, right? So you will be giving a new name for this data type. This is nothing but what? By using Typedef you can give it, right? That concept is called as what? Name aliasing. Okay, that means giving a new name to a data type. For example, I've used a keyword called as Typedef for which data type you want to give a new name, right? So I will tell it as integer data type, right? So what is the new name you want to give it? Instead of integer, what is the new name you want to give it? I'll tell it as yo, right? So I'll put a semicolon over here. So wherever I have integer, I can change it to yo also. No problem with that. So instead of integer, I can call it yo. Okay, it's like a nickname you have it, right? For everyone, you have a nickname. Your maan is jo pyar se bulati hai, right? So that is nothing but your by using a type def. Okay. For example, you can do it for here also, no problem with that. So I'll do it as yo here, right? So I will go for here. I'll go for the program, same program, right? So I'll go for here, no errors, dot slash a dot void out. I'll tell it as one block. I'll tell it as 34, 56, and I'll tell it as G, right? It's coming all fine. Got it, guys? Take it down. What is this? What is this? This type def. You take it on this type def. Type def. Okay, what do you need to write it down? Type def is used to give a data type a new name. Okay, take down a small example and write it down. So it might be for primitive or non-primitive data type. Anything is fine, no problem with that. Okay, let's try for something else, guys. Let's try for something else. Okay, same thing for Mib. I can tell it for type def. I can tell it as something like this. I can might be I'll be trying this. Okay, for you I will done it, right? So I'll add as type type def, type def, or that as integer u, or else again I will be getting an error over there. So again I want to type it. Okay, now what I need to do it, I want to tell it as type def. I will tell it has type definition. And what is this? What is a non-primitive type? It is nothing but mib. I'll tell it as what? Struct. Okay, it is a struct mib. I'll just tell it as m, right? I'll just tell it as what, guys? M for this, right? So I'll go for here wherever I have used mib, right? So this one, okay, so I'll be using it instead of this one, I'll use it just m. Okay, let me check it out what happens, right? Let me check it out what happens. Let's run this program. Okay, so dot slash e dot void out, right? So what I need to do it, I need to tell it as 1, I'll tell it as 34, I'll tell it as 56, I'll tell it as G. So I'm getting it proper, right? So even though it is a primitive or non-primitive type, you can write it like this, right? So what is this? It is nothing but name aliasing. Okay, so you're changing the name of structure mip to m, right? All the time I was writing structure mip, structure mip, structure mip every time, right? Now how can I reduce it? I can just write it, I can define it like this, and I can give a beautiful name, right? So my name is like Muhammad Idris Bey, right? So who will call me like that? So I'll just write it as MIB, right? So same thing, I'll be writing it here, right? Instead of that one, I'll be writing it, instead of structure mip, I'll be just writing it as m here, right? It becomes very small, right? Instead of writing it again and again, same thing, I'll be writing it in very short way. So if I run this program for your kind information, like I'll do it as dot slash a dot out, I will tell it as 1, and I have 34, 56, I have u, right? I have it, right? Take down this. One more thing, guys, one more thing, just add on to this, like if I write, okay, I will come across this. Okay, I will come like this. Okay, I can do it like this, guys. M1 M1 like this. Can I give 2-3 names at a shot? Here I'll tell it as M1 instead of M, I'll tell it as M1, right? So let me check it out what happens. Okay, so it's just my add-on thing from my thinking perspective, that's it. So like I'll tell it as 1, so 23, 45, and E, right? It's coming fine, right, guys? So it is not only one name you can give it, you can give a multiple name also, right? Well, your close friend, you have a name, right? You have a name, right? You have a name, right? So even your friends will call some other name, your mother will call some other name, your dad will call some other name, right? When mother is anger, she will call some other name. When mother is sweet, she will call some other name, right? So you can have multiple names, you can have multiple names. Now I'll come to the Ashu, right? He told me, sir, can we write it only for the data type, or we can write it for the identifier also, right? So I'll tell it as type def. Okay, I'll tell it as type def. He is telling that main, sir. For main, I will tell it has m2, right? So m1 is already used, m1 is already used, so I'll tell it as what? M2, right? So what I can do is like I can go for it. So wait a second. So I'll go for here, I'll be getting a beautiful slab telling that read it down, this, guys, read it down. Okay, so type def main, it is like this. Redefine of a m2 has different kind of symbolic to m2. Done. Okay, so I cannot do this, right? So good, Anshu. So I cannot do this, right? So what I need to do it, I need to tell it as me. Okay, guys, done with this? Done with so much? Guys, done with so much? You got to know, right? This line you got to know, right? This line you got to know, right? Okay, one small thing. Okay, this line also can be written as. Okay, this line also can be written as. Okay, this line also can be written as. I can, instead of writing over there, I can write here itself, guys. Okay, I'll tell it as type def. Okay, I can tell it as type def. Okay, type def. The names which I want to give it, I can give it here. M1, M comma M1. All right, M comma M1. Okay, so this is one blueprint, this is one blueprint, and this is one blueprint, and this is one blueprint. Correct. So now what I do it, now I'll go for here, one structure having a 3 names. That is what it is, I'm telling it, right? So what I can do it now, I can tell it has cc, okay, compile this, and I'll let it dot slash a dot oat out, right? So what I can do it, I'll let it as 1, I'll let it as 45, 67, I'll let it as u, right? So everything is done. Got it? Compare with this, this line actually can be written as in this structure itself. While writing the structure itself, we can write it. Got it? Take down this. Okay, take it down some points, guys. Take it down some points. Write it down as a note. You write it down. Okay, guys, just take it down. The difference between take it down. The difference between type def and type define. Let's say like has define. So first point, write it down. Okay. You have seen it, right? Typedef was limited for giving the symbolic names, right? Only for the data types that this kind of things, right? Okay, typedef is limited for the limited given symbolic names to types only, right? So only for the primitive and non-primitive types only, right? Whereas has defined, you can tell it as, for example, look onto this for 3.15, right? How do you write it? For you tell it has pi and you tell it has 3.14, right? 3.14. So how do you write it? For example, you'll tell it has such like this. For example, you tell it has, how do you write it? Hash define pi, this one, right? So where has it is here, right? So what is that? Only for the type of it. So how do you write it? How do you write it for the type, guys? So you tell it has example, I'll write it. Example, you'll tell it has type def. Okay, sorry. Okay, type def. What do you tell it, guys? How do you tell it? So for integer, you will tell it as yo, right? That is what you have discussed about it. Okay, so regarding the interpretation, okay, so when it is actually invoked, right? So your type def, okay, type def, you tell it has interpretation is performed by the compiler, whereas this one, it is performed by preprocessor, whereas typedef is by the compiler, performed by the compiler, and this one is by the preprocessor. The termination part, okay, the termination part. How the termination part, guys? I have terminated has defined by the semicolon, right? It is exactly treating as one statement. Whereas has defined, do you terminate by the semicolon? No, you will not terminate by the semicolon, right? So I'll tell it as termination. It's with the semicolon, right? This one you will not use any semicolon. Okay, so this is very important, very important. Like when you deal with the hash define, guys, what it was doing it, I told you one word. When it is come to the hash define, you need to remember one word. What is that one word, guys? Replacement, right? So it is nothing but copy pasting the entire that word, right? So entire sentence what you have written it is doing it, right? So write it down. So here it is, what, guys, in type def, what is it going on in type def? In this, it is actual definition, right? So int is actually using it, right? So int is actually using it is not replacing it, it is actually using it, right? Whereas structure mib is m1 m2, it is actually using it, right? So it is not replacing it, which is the actual definition of a new type. And last point, guys, you write it down like that itself. In type def you have something called a scope, okay, whereas in the has defined you don't have any scope. Okay, from where you are using has defined, from there it goes on using it. Okay, but in the has type def, okay, type def, if you are using this type def inside the block, within the inside the block itself you can use it, right? For example, type def int, int, for int you are using yo, right? So if you're putting in the block, Inside the block itself, you can use it here. Outside the block, you will not work it. Okay, so you can tell it for Typedef, it is following what? A scopes. It is following what, guys? It is following what? Scope. It is following it. Okay, just follow the scope rule. Okay, here since you are playing with the preprocessor, here there will be no scope. From where you are using it, from there, okay, you can use it. Okay, or else you can tell it has just like this, no scope rule. You can tell it no scope rule. This is all about your Typedef and Hastify. What is the scope rule? Look, the scope is nothing but you have Prime Minister, you have CM, right? So what is the scope of CM, Chief Minister? What is the the Karnataka Chief Minister can rule in the Tamil Nadu? Can he go and rule in Tamil Nadu? Can he declare a rule like, okay, this you need to follow it? No, right? Okay, so the Karnataka CM should be in the scope of Karnataka itself, right? So what if the Prime Minister can Prime Minister do it? Can Prime Minister do it? When it comes to the Prime Minister, it is nothing but throughout the what? India, right? That is the scope, right? Only India. So when WHO or UNESCO thing anything rule is done, then it is throughout the world. Okay, here it is blocks, right? Flower bracket, right? So if you are using within the flower bracket, then it is like that.